Hello everyone! Today we have r/AmItheDevil, and today's stories are Chef's Kiss. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel because I really want to get to 120 subscribers as soon as possible. Am I the butthole for telling my twin sister she will never fit in with us? I have 4 siblings: Mark, Josh, Eva, and Tony. Me and Eva are fraternal twins. Our mother was stay-at-home mom, but she was emotionally absent. Growing up, our father was very hard on us. He wanted his first son to be a doctor, so Mark had to work all the time. He had Josh learn violin at 4 years old, and it made him play for hours. Tony had to be a lawyer. I had the chance to be a beautiful kid, and I participated in beauty pageants starting from 3 years old. Eva was free of this, because she wasn't beautiful and my father didn't think a woman could do much anyway. She always had liberty and could do whatever she wanted without pressure on her shoulders. She could have friends, had no care about her grades, and did not have to work her butt off every day. We are not proud of it, but we tended to exclude her since she was slacking off while we were working so hard. She was also a problematic teen. She skipped classes, hung around with the bad crowd, and drank. She even disappeared for a week without notice when we were 15, stating after that she wanted to get away with her boyfriend for a road trip, while I wasn't even allowed to leave the house for a night because my parents wanted to make sure I did my work and I would only eat what I was allowed to. Eva would throw tantrums saying she was neglected and no one would care if she disappeared. I was enraged with her because she never realized the chance she had, and we only grew apart from that point. After high school, I went far away and started working as a makeup artist. I eloped at 26 with Eli and never looked back. Last month, our father passed away and my siblings and I went to the family home for the funeral. We stayed for 3 weeks and reconnected a lot. Mark had a breakdown in 23 from all the pressure and barely recovered. He is now happier, got a job as a tech in a lab, is married and has 2 little kids. Josh stopped violin and is a drummer and piano teacher, and Tony is a public defender. Eva chose to be a social worker. It was a bit weird with Eva since we hadn't seen each other for years and gave up contact too. She once again tried to dismiss what we went through, saying she was as mistreated as us, even though that is nowhere near true. One evening, she completely flipped out on us, calling us buttholes and saying that we were like our father and excluded her. She kept going about how our parents never took an interest in her, neither did we, and that she went through heck, thinking she was worthless. Mark started to cry, so I took Eva out and lashed out at her, saying that she was butthole for being jealous of our misery and that she will never fit with us because she never got mistreated and it was insane of her to claim she had. She left that night and didn't apologize to any of us. When I went home, I cried a lot and told everything to my husband, expecting him to support me. But he said that I should be the one to call and apologize to my sister. So am I the butthole? 1,000 times yes. Only because she suffered from different kind of mistreatment than you did doesn't mean that she had it easy and wonderful. I think you have to call and apologize to your sister, and then it is up to your sister if she will ever want to talk to you again. My girlfriend of 2 years is pressuring or manipulating me to propose. I don't know how to fix this. My girlfriend and I have been together for 2 years. I moved into her apartment 6 months ago and things have been going well, until we had an argument last week about the next steps. Our lease ends in 9 months, and I've been mentioning getting a bigger place together since it's only a 1-bedroom. She tells me I'm not going to move into a bigger place until I have some level of commitment. Then she went on to explain how if things don't work out between us, she has nowhere to go and won't be able to afford the rent on her own. She has no family and explained how she could possibly be homeless as she found a good deal on the apartment we live in now, and that gives her a sense of stability for herself. That caught me off guard, so I told her that's feeling like I'm going to be forced to do that now. After I said that, the argument started. She said to me, "Really? You'd feel forced? didn't you just ask what kind of ring shape I like the other week? I thought we were on the same page and began to cry. And then thought I was glossing over the fact of her situation and how I don't care. Yes, over the past few months, I may have done things that would hint for a proposal within the next year. I did ask her what ring shape she likes. We have talked in detail about our wedding and children, and I said to her that I've been thinking about coming home to a little one the other week. But all of that was in a future sense. As I don't have a specific timeline, I'm just taking things one day at a time. She tells me I'm saying things a man with a timeline would say. I just wanted it to be special when I propose, a surprise. I was just looking into rings, but it all comes off as manipulation. Things she's basically telling me if I want to live in a bigger space, I have to propose. No, she's just sharing her concerns with you, and you're behaving like a man who is scared of commitment. My wife is very upset because I bruised our son's arm. I took my family on a walk yesterday on a trail. My son was holding my baby daughter and wanted to climb up a rock. My wife told him to give the baby to her if he wants to climb. He says he will not climb, he'll just show her the rock. My wife and I sat down and I was answering a text message when she starts to panic because our son didn't listen. I took my son by the arm and asked him why he didn't listen to his mother. He said, "It's not a big deal, I won't drop her." So I pulled his arm a bit hard while I was talking to him. On the walk back, my son is holding his mom's hand saying, "Mommy, my arm hurts." I don't get physical with my son just because he makes a mistake. I would typically give him a natural consequence according to his behavior, but I needed to get his attention and let him know I'm not playing around with him. My wife is soft with our son. I don't mind that. I agree that he probably needed some nurturing after I was stern with him. But I grabbed his arm. I didn't beat him. She made his favorite for dinner, which is overkill if you ask me, but I didn't try to stop her. He learned his lesson. I learned just how upset she was later that night when we were in bed. We had adult time, and when we were finished, she rolled away from me. She's usually all over me, so I knew something was wrong. I got her to talk to me, and she tells me that I bruised her baby's arm and starts to cry. I don't want to bruise my kid, and I don't want to make my wife cry. I tried to explain myself. I want our kids to be safe. He disrespected me. I got pissed, and I can agree I was too forceful if I bruised him. I don't think I was exactly wrong, bearing the bruises, but I felt ashamed replaying her reaction all day. I brought my wife flowers and my son a PlayStation gift card home after work. My son is himself, but my wife still seems off. I'm not sure how to go about mending this with her. Honestly, starting from the first sentence, I didn't like the author of this story because he said, "I took my family on a walk yesterday." He didn't say, "My family and I went for a walk." He took the family. So this is a guy with a big ego. And I think he has to work on that. Am I the butthole for telling my parents that they ruined New Year's celebration after they kicked out my husband over a joke? I've been married to my second husband Mike for 4 years now. He's a jokester and loves to crack jokes all the time. He especially liked to joke with my brother Ethan and his wife. Ethan used to be okay with it till he started complaining about Mike taking it too far with his jokes. Some context about Ethan. He and his wife couldn't have kids, so they adopted a boy, Joey, 2 years ago. Mike has been making silly, light-hearted jokes that involved Joey's bio parents as a way to mess with Ethan and his wife. I already talked to Mike, and I tell you that his 100% means no harm, and he was just trying to get them to react. So fast forward to New Year's Eve, my parents hosted a big celebratory dinner, and Ethan and his wife came. While we were eating dinner, Mike decided to tell a knock-knock joke to Ethan. He said, "Knock knock." Ethan laughed and said, "Who's there?" Mike replied, "Joey's bio parents," and then he bursted out laughing. Silence took over and Ethan's facial expressions changed. His wife called Mike an idiot, to which Mike replied with, "Hey, relax, it was just a joke." An argument ensued and dinner was paused. My parents suddenly told Mike to leave, which I thought was too harsh. I tried to speak to them and get them to calm down, but Mom insisted that Mike leave. We laughed and Mike was complaining the whole time about how they overreacted. I called my mom later and she told me Mike was out of line with his hurtful jokes about this touchy topic and told me I was wrong for defending him and saying he was just joking. She said he ruined New Year's for the family, but I told her it was her and Dad who ruined New Year's celebration for escalating the situation and kicking him out. I told her he could talk to them, but again, they were the ones who ruined New Year's celebration. She called me delusional for the statement and hung up. We haven't talked to them for days. I tried contacting Ethan, but no response. Well, as they say, Delulu is strong with this one. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. You can also watch that awesome video or this awesome playlist. See you next time!